Hey guys, welcome to another video from the Parrott Bros. Now today I'm going to show you how you can get Apple CarPlay or Android CarPlay into your car, no screws, no messy wiring, and straight into your car for less than 60 quid. Sound good? Well, I'll tell you a bit more straight after that intro. So regularly I get contacted to say, Dom, do you want to try our new product? We'll give you one for free. But we want you to do a video on it. Now, the problem I have with these is they send you this item, and if it's crap, I'll just send it back because I'm not going to share with you something that I wouldn't use myself. I wouldn't get you to buy something that I wouldn't buy myself. And a couple of companies have reached out to me recently, said, oh, we've got this Apple CarPlay module, it's like 200 quid. And then I started Googling to see, well, okay, well, how much are they? This one was 60 quid. I'm not going to take one for 200 and tell you guys to buy it when you can buy this one for 50 or 60 quid. I think it was £56 on eBay, but they had that, you know, that take off £5. So it was nearly £51. I paid for this out of my own money. I don't know the company, and I've been using it for a week. So I know it's good. Super simple to use. For anyone who is a bit of a technophobe, this is definitely the one for you. And if you like your Apple CarPlay and you've got a newer car, but your weekend car doesn't have it and you want it, see, got you. Super simple to set up. Now, you're going to need a few things. It comes with, let me do you a quick unboxing, only a quick one, mind. Right, so it comes with a couple of mounting options. It comes with this bracket, which you can stick to your dashboard, which is horrible. And it mounts like that, so you can have it mounted underneath the screen like that, like it's some sort of reversing camera in a van, which I'm not a massive fan of, but if it has a purpose, fine. It comes with a suction mount, which I don't need to tell you how to suck eggs. You can stick it to your window, or if you get one of them little round discs, you can stick it to your dashboard and have it in front of you. Both very good options, but as most of you have a phone and use your phone in your car for maps, you'll probably have some sort of magnet fixing. Now this is only 60 grams heavier than my iPhone 13 Pro, so it will stay on a magnet absolutely fine. I've done over 300 miles driving all around London, around the country roads. Hasn't fallen off. So perfectly fine with the weight, as long as you've got a half decent magnet, it will hold. So just stick a magnet plate on the back, you'll have no problems. It comes with a 3.5mm jack. If you have a fancy stereo that takes one of these, then you can plug them together. It will talk to your stereo. You can tap through your Spotify or your Apple Music, and it will play through your fancy stereo. And it also comes with a power supply. Now this is a USB-C to cigarette lighter. Not going to use it. I'll tell you what we've got. So we're going to go for the magnet option, like I've shown you. I've also got this cable which came with something I bought in my drawer of cables that you never throw away, worth keeping. USB normal A to C, and this will allow us to route it wherever we want. It's about 1.5 meters long, works absolutely fine. And this will come on and off with your the power of your car if you wire in one of those cigarette lighters that I've shown in a different video, which I'll put up in the screen now. One of these corners, that you can obviously make it switch live, because in the TT Mark 1 the cigarette lighter is always on, which is not ideal, and obviously you want it so you don't have to have that flap down for the ashtray. You can have it hidden so you can run the cables nice and neatly. So I'll just unplug this and it goes off straight away, and I'll show you how quick it sort of links up, because this is what I like about it. Now it makes this funny noise, and tell me what you think it sounds like. Give it a couple of seconds. And a picture of a McLaren on it. Just to let all shoppers know, the shop will be closing in 15 minutes. Please finalise your purchases. Do you agree? I'm not quite sure what that noise is about, but if you look here, it's gone on to quite a dim function because I've been driving at night quite a bit. It takes about 10 seconds to sync up with your phone if you've already got it connected. And there you go, we're straight into Apple CarPlay. We've got, it says to search on Waze, a picture of Waze, and then your music and the calendar. The calendar goes off after about 15 minutes, and it will just show your music. And then here, on the right-hand side at the top, it will show, like in half a mile, if you're turning left, it will show that you have to use the left lane. And then you've got your Waze. There's a few other things on there. You can flick through different things. There's WhatsApp, there's messages, and loads of other stuff. Spotify, radio player, all those kinds of things. Now, music playback-wise, what I have been doing is I've got one of those Bluetooth adapters which goes into the cigarette lighter, which I'm then using to power this, and then I use that as an FM transmitter to go through to the radio. Seems a bit backwards, but once it's all set up, the moment you turn your key on, it all comes on. Takes about 5 seconds, it all talks to itself, and bam, you have music playback. This will talk to your car to tell you the directions if you have route directions or speed cameras, all that kind of stuff. And it goes through like that. So it works really well. It's a bit clunky because you're retrofitting stuff in an old car, but you don't have to remove the stereo, you don't have to drill anything, you don't have to screw anything, you don't have to do any additional wiring. So this is more focused to those, well, you want it to do it easy, just click, off you go. And you don't want to do any drilling and screwing and wiring in your car. You're leaving that factory stereo if you think it sounds quite good. In this one, it sounds pretty good. The speakers aren't blown, which is a bonus. Let me transfer into the car and we'll go and have a look what it actually looks like fitted, and hopefully we can get a better picture of the screen, shall we? Okay, so just imagine for a second that I don't have my cigarette lighter open and I have the USB hidden back here like I normally would with this Bluetooth FM transmitter inside. I would normally just pop this power supply in and then we'd hide it under there, and then what I'd probably recommend is if you've got a black cable, you could hide that just nicely through there, and all you would see is a tiny little wire, which, to be honest, if you've got Apple CarPlay, you don't care. And then if you wanted to charge your phone, you could always have your phone on charge under here. And then what I would do is when the car turns on, it would give this power, which would then bring this screen on. I'll just turn this GoPro on so you can have a better angle as well. Okay, so now you've got the screen. Now it's auto dim because I had it on the lowest setting because it goes very, very bright. Now if you watch, it takes about 10 seconds for it to load up, and then it'll automatically switch over. There you go. So that's that set. Now we'll go on to music. Now because I've got the FN transmitter in, I'll turn it up a little bit, and it's got my terrible choice of music on here. We'll go for hot hits, whatever that is, and then we'll pick one, and then it should start to play, and it's playing through the car. So then you have your music playback, which you would expect to have normally, and then it's just getting used to the touchscreen because it takes quite a firm touch compared to, say, a phone or something like that. You can have different settings on here. You can obviously pick your brightness to really bright, really dull. And then the Bluetooth settings, it gives you 4 options, which is the speaker in itself, the CarPlay and Auto, where it sort of swaps between if you have Bluetooth in your car, an FM transmitter, which I've had no luck with, and of course the aux if you want to use that wire on the side. So quite a few features. It just takes quite a firm press. Back to your Apple CarPlay, and then you have all your settings. Now, like I said, you've got different views. You can play with it. You can swap them round, so you have this on this side and this the other way round. And I think it's quite a nice little bit of kit. And like I said, it is super, super quick to swap over. So it takes literally seconds for it to load up, go on, and that gives you your Apple CarPlay. You've got your music playback. So you literally have everything you could possibly want for less than 60 quid. Now, I don't know about you, but if you like using Waze and you have a music playback system like Apple Music, Spotify, or Radio Player, anything like that, you have it all of there. And if you get a notification, it'll pop up and say, oh, Dom has sent you a text message. Would you like to listen to it? Yes, no. Would you like to reply? And then it does all the normal hey Google, hey Siri kind of stuff. You can talk to it, and then it will give you the options available, which is very cool. And for less than 60 quid, I mean, it just saves you being on your phone. You've got a better screen. It's brighter. You won't have to cane your battery so much. And it's super simple. I mean, that's it. Simple. Most cars have some sort of magnet, even a vent one, because this is some sort of super duper snazzy one. Even the vent one, I mean, the vent is floppy, but it holds it. It's not coming off of there. And that's just the cheapy one, just because I've got the Ignitron, which of course has 2 on because it weighs an absolute ton. And then what you have to do is bang them both on and try and level it out, which is a bit of a pain in the butt, but it works fine. And that's where I got the idea. Now, there is a few caveats to this. So, I mean, you could use that horrible mounting plate if you want and mount it there. The problem is you'll lose a bit of visibility. The only other thing, I did speak to a company about getting it made. They haven't got them yet, but when they do, I'll pop a thing up on my Facebook and my website, is that they do a vent mount. So it goes round here, and then it will have a little flat bit on top, so you can put a suction cup on it, so it won't actually cover the vent, and you can just have it slightly above. They're going to be sort of less than £20, which I think is handy. And I mean, you can have it this side if you wanted, so it's not in your line of sight. or for any extra accessories. Now, we are limited in the TT because obviously you sit quite low. It's quite a reduced window of visibility, so you don't really want anything in the windscreen because it's going to be an instant blind spot. So that's why there is great, as long as you don't live in a really hot country and you need the aircon blowing on you full blast, because then you're covering 2 of the 4 vents. But you want it in your eye line. You don't want to be looking down. You don't want it down here because then you're looking away from the road for it. You want it in your line of sight, and there you can just have a quick glance. No problem. I've had my phone there for pretty much forever when I go on a road trip, and I mean, it looks the nuts, doesn't it? I can't argue with that. And for less than 60 quid, I'll pop a link to this exact one. Like I said, I've tried it on Android. It works fine. It's slightly different menu system, and it looks slightly different, but you still have one side for music, one side for the CarPlay. It just looks a bit more Androidy. As much as I can say, I don't really do Android, but I tried it with my work phone, and it works absolutely fine, exactly the same as you would expect with this. So to add Apple CarPlay to your car is as simple as that, even with this 100-year-old now, 25-year-old stereo system which has a tape. I mean, if you wanted, you could put one of them tapes in with a lead and plug it in with the aux rather than having the transmitter, but you're still going to need power to this. So nice little black cable, tuck it in there, and then it goes round here, pops out down there, goes into your thing that I showed you the video for. FN transmitter is about a tenner. £56, I think it was. I'll pop the link down to it. But Apple CarPlay in a 20-something-year-old car for the win. Let me know what you think. Are you going to add Apple CarPlay to your car? Is this something you've been looking at? Because I know in a TT specifically, to change this stereo, you have to take all of this out. You have to buy a fascia, which could be a couple of £100. It then moves this down, and you have to rewire some stuff, and then you can put a screen in, but then the screen's probably £400 or £500. It gets very expensive. So I was trying to do it on a budget. And I mean, the fact that you can take this from car to van to whatever, and it's just easier. You can have your phone out the way. You don't have to look at it. No distractions. No 6 points. Safety while driving. And it's just a bigger screen. I used to like having the big sat-navs with the TomToms and all that kind of stuff, apart from they were absolutely terrible. Waze is by far more superior. But enough of me rambling. Apple CarPlay, less than 60 quid. You heard it here first. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.